Hello everyone and welcome to the Memorial Ground in Farnham. We're here for some pre-season action. Frankie Hobbs soon to be joined by Sartej Tucker. Weather's held off and the pitch is in great condition and we've got a bit of non-league football in our hands. Appreciate you joining us today. Farnham Town against Walton and Hersham. We've got two good teams. Farnham Town, champions last year of the Combined Counties Premier Division South. Walton and Hersham just missing out on playoffs, but we'll be looking to go one better this year. Teams just in the tunnel, and I am joined by Sartej Tucker.
Frankie.
I was going to say welcome to the Farnham Town channel, but I believe we're broadcasting on both channels.
We might be putting it on our TikTok at the moment, just on. It's easy just to keep people on one page, all the comments in the same place, I guess.
So welcome. It's not your first time here, but it's probably changed a long time since you've been here. But the teams now emerge. Welcome to the Memorial Ground for Farnham Town versus Walton and Hersham. We will walk through the Farnham Town teams. In goal, Marcin Brzeski. A back four of Jack Dean, Ryan Canane, Max Meaton and Joe Jackson. In midfield, Harry Cooksley and Mark Waters. Above them, Daryl Sanders and Joel Rollinson. Leading the line, Duarte Martins and Owen Dean. So yeah, Sartej, I don't know if you want to run us through for the viewers, run through the Walton Hersham team today?
Yeah, it seems a few of the boys have changed the numbers from what I had on the team sheet initially, but that's pre-season for you. But Josh Barker is in goal for the Swans today. Back four, there's a trialist at right back for the Swans. Owen Bolger at left back, centre-back pairing of Joey Jones and Josh Tobin. Two trialists in midfield, trialist B and trialist C. So hoping the trialist can pull one out today. David Rogowski leads the line up front. Joel Powell in behind. Cam Thompson is on the left wing and another trialist on the right wing today.
So it's quite a different team. If people had been following Walton Hersham last year, it's quite a different side to the one you had last year.
Massively, yeah. I think we've kept four boys, and that's it. I mean, there's been a huge amount of change over the summer, so it'll be interesting to see how they fare today. It's obviously our third pre-season game. I think it's your guys' fourth.
Yes. How has pre-season gone so far?
It's gone alright actually. We had Wealdstone on the opening day. We're obviously a National League side, and we did quite well. That was a 3-3 draw on that day, and we hosted Rains Park last weekend and came from 2-0 down to beat them 3-2. So it's been an encouraging start to pre-season so far, given that this is an entirely new team, really.
Yeah, and Farnham made 6 signings in the summer. Got off the mark with a 2-1 win at Langley. Well, actually at the Walton Hersham's ground. Played QPR after that. Ran out 4-0 winners, and then
good turnout for that, didn't you?
Yeah, 1,200 I think here, probably more, but such is the nature of counting people in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good day, and then last Saturday, a bit of a drab affair against Red Hill, but that can happen in pre-season, as you know. But yeah, there's a few people piling in now. If you are joined on YouTube or TikTok, then thanks for tuning in. Hopefully two good sides here looking to play a lot of football.
Yeah, looking forward to this one today. I think it's going to be an exciting game. I think two sides that are both going to try and play football the right way, try and score goals. I think last week we played against Rains Park and they weren't scared to put a heavy challenge in, even at this stage of pre-season. So looking for a good game today.
Two teams that will be looking to be at the top end of their tables, respectively.
The Swans in white tops, black shorts and socks today. Going to get us underway. Farnham in your new lovely claret and blue strip.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's we haven't been able to put it on sale yet, but
it's the same with us actually. The replicas just take so long to come, but such is the nature of getting custom kits at this level.
So we are underway here at the Memorial Ground.
Yeah, the trialist that gets the Swans underway in the 21 top.
A few travelling Swans in the corner there.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a relatively local game for us. It's only about half an hour, 35 minutes for most of our fans to get down here, so free entry as well.
Compared to some of the travelling you'll do this season.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we've been a bit unlucky. We've lost 6 of our 7 closest games. Pretty much all of the London teams have gone now, or the London-based teams. So even further trips out this year to Gloucester, Taunton.
Wales.
Yeah, well, we had that last year, but it's just gone even further out towards the West Country this year. So, but that's the nature of Southern League football, or just the higher up the pyramid.
Step 3, isn't it? Yeah. Unless you're playing in Essex and you're in the Isthmian League. Walton Hersham just looking to control possession here. And that is a theme of Walton Hersham's game, isn't it? Just building up from the back.
Very much so, and obviously there's been a lot of change at the club over the past few months, really. But one thing that isn't going to change is the identity and the style, and that's something Billy, as manager now, but obviously as coach before, had a huge hand in really driving that side of the game for the team, and being able to implement that over a number of seasons. So that won't change at all.
One ball played forward to Martins, loses out.
Yeah, good header there by Joey Jones, his Swans' new addition, signed from Altrincham.
Very impressive signing.
He's Kingston born originally, so he's from the London area. He's just moved back home after 10 years of playing up north, just recently got married, so wanted to move back into the area, and has hopefully found a good home in Walton. New skipper, actually, Joey Jones. I don't think we've announced that yet, but for anyone tuning in, he is the new club captain. Cam Thompson flicking that over.
Joel Rollinson, a lot of space here. What will he do for Martins? Martins 1-2 with Rollinson again. Good pressing by Farnham, they force Walton back. Oh, and they've been caught in possession. It's Owen Dean. Can he find Joe Rollinson?
Oh, and Owen Bolger gets in there really well to cut that one out.
Good defending. You can see Walton are going to take risks with the ball.
Yeah, and you're always at risk when you give it away in your own third like that as well, especially with Farnham pressing high like that. But a good bit of defensive work from Owen Bolger to mop that one up. Joey Jones clips that one forward in search of Joel Powell.
Towering header for Meaton. Cooksy's pressed by 3. Oh, he's got away with it. Definitely got away with it. Probably was a foul, but got away with it. And Jack Dean's over in a bit of space, if Canane can find him.
Someone's doing a bit of pressing of their own here.
Mask.
Cut out by Joel Powell, but he can't keep that one in play.
Looks like the game's been played at a good pace.
It is, yeah. It's been a quick start.
Compared to Farnham's last game against Red Hill, which was a bit slower to start. And
Yeah, how was the pitch there?
you know what? Not too bad.
I guess this stage of the season, it's had 2-3 months rest. It's got, sufficient time to recover and regrow.
You've got to get Marco Cook to stay central. Has to.
Yeah, I think they've got Dorkin training on the pitch every so often now as well. Yeah, a few hundred in here at the Memorial Ground. Decent attendance. Not sure there's too much local football on. But if you are a Farnham fan and you've seen the fixtures, you'll know that the first league game of the season is away to Badshot Lee. We'll make the short trip down to Recklesham. Very exciting game.
I'm surprised that wasn't a bank holiday game.
Yeah, well,
really surprised. Because that is, the game, isn't it?
I don't think there'll be a game in the league outside of the playoffs that will have a bigger attendance than those two games.
Potentially when you play K's, maybe.
Yeah.
I think when you play... Do you play K's at home in the back end of the season?
Yeah, so late Saturday.
I have a feeling that could be almost like when we played Basingstoke 2
Yeah.
years ago at the end of the season. I think when you build up towards a game like that,
You can really
always
pitch it. Sanders, not really said his name so far, but he does get a bit of fortune and find Rollinson. Jack Dean just keeps it in, but maybe that wasn't the right move.
Cam Thompson with it for the Swans down the left, and Dean putting a challenge in there.
Cleaned up his own mess, and Canane will clear. That's a great area from Canane.
Josh Tobin with a good header and Owen Bolger out.
Waters looks for Sanders. What can Sanders do? Little touch to Owen Dean. He finds Sanders again. Sanders, he is human.
Must be nice to have him fit as well, knowing that he's in, touch wood for you guys, good health going into the season as well.
Yeah.
After this nasty injury last year.
It's a tough one with Daryl. He's, we all saw how brilliant he was, and he only managed to play 50% of the minute.
What happened with his family last year as
yeah.
well?
He's been the ringer, lad.
Possess this.
Rollinson, he's falling out to Waters. Oh, Sand stick. Defended those areas.
Yeah, Joey into. He gave.
Spark the stick. Uphill.
Yeah,
impressed a lot of people at Naphill.
Yeah. I think one of the things we actually said to him when he joined us is we're actually glad that Naphill's media wasn't that good, because if he was if he was getting the media coverage that Farnham or Walton get, he'd probably be signing for a National League club. So.
Yeah. Well, Pat Nash had that media coverage and went and signed for Aldershot. Yeah, Naphill would be interesting to see what they do this season, losing their management team.
Yeah, and a lot of their players as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, losing that playoff final is always really rough.
It's hard to pick yourself back up. Bracknell saw it.
Yeah, a lot of teams fall apart after losing playoff finals. It's just so tough. Swans will be looking to build a bit of momentum going into our opening game as well, because we've got AFC Tottenham away, which is...
Two teams that you think will be in that top 6?
Well, it might be a bit premature to say, but early games like that, they do feel like bellwethers for the rest of the season.
I think as an outsider, you'd probably say Tottenham are one of the favourites for the title.
I'd say the favourite. Yeah. Obviously, they missed out on promotion by losing a penalty shootout at home to Salisbury, and I think they are by far and away the most well-resourced team in the league. I don't think there's any question of that. So Tottenham would naturally be the favourites, obviously, having narrowly missed out last year, but I think there's a huge host of teams throughout the league that are capable.
Having a Waterlooville would be in step 3 is...
Yeah, I mean, it's not the level that they should be playing at, given the size of the club and, again, the resources they have.
Dean finds Sanders, he finds Rollinson. It's played across, can Dean nick it? He can't, it's mopped up well again.
Tobin trying to find the right-back trialist there, but that one out of play. So we were saying there are 3 teams that have come down from Step 2. We've got Taunton Town, Gloucester City have come down from the National North, and Havant Waterlooville as well. A lot of teams as well that have been in the league. Gosport Borough, AFC Tottenham, Dorchester Town no doubt will be up there. Poole Town, another very well-resourced side if they can keep their pitch in good nick. So it's going to be a really competitive top end of the table in our league, I think.
I think you're seeing that across the levels now. There's maybe where a couple of years ago they felt like strong favourites. We were definitely that last year, but in that Ishmael and South Central, you've got ourselves, Leatherhead, Kingstonian, Rains Park Vale will be up there. These leagues, because of these teams now have gone up and got promoted, these leagues are starting to get bunched with teams, so it'll be very interesting. And then I guess teams do find their ceiling when they go up so many times, and it's just, as you guys have found, you definitely haven't hit your shit with the playoff or the near playoff run last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, isn't it? I mean, to go up 4 times in a row has never been done. It was never really going to be done. But there's no reason that we aren't able to give it another good crack this year. Nice ball through to Cam Thompson, who is offside.
That looked close.
Yeah.
Definitely 2 good teams there on show. If you are tuned in, thanks very much. Hope we're keeping you company on this Saturday afternoon as we close into the start of the season. Farnham in FA Cup action in just a couple of weeks. Away to Tunbridge Wells.
Well, it's funny, we played them in our extra preliminary round at the start of the 21 to 22 season.
Was that the year you had a decent run, or was that the year before?
No, our step 4 season we had a decent run. That was our step 5 season when we played Tunbridge Wells in the extra prelim. And we also played them in the Vars that year away.
Rollinson's done well to find Jack Dean. Jack Dean's in the box. It's Dean. Falls out to Owen Dean.
Oh, Joey Jones with a great head to steer that away from danger. That looked like that might have been going in.
Walton Hersham can come forward here, but to be fair to Farnham, they've worked hard to get back in.
Yeah, and they're pressing high up the pitch, which means it's a high wire act to play the way we are. Well, it's always a high wire act, but certainly against a good press. But the Swans so far have also defended quite well. Joey Jones, Josh Tobin and Owen Bolger all putting in big challenges.
It's an interesting one because you'd say they've had a lot of good pieces of defending at the back, but you don't want to do that too many times. You want to be playing in Farnham's half.
And the law of averages says you do that enough times, you're going to concede. So.
Martins does well to find Sanders. Farnham will reset. Now they'll enjoy a bit of possession at the back. Jack Dean, I think he's going to look for an area. And he does.
Owen Bolger with his head on that. That one will go out of play.
Rollinson did well.
Make some room, make some room.
Cooksley spreads the play to Jackson. 11 minutes gone here at the Memorial Ground. Both teams just starting to settle in. Sanders. It's Canane. Looks up, tries to find Sanders. Has he beaten the offside trap? He has. He's brought it down brilliantly. Tried to find Jackson. The Swans will come away.
Is that a foul? Yeah.
He's done really well there. Trialist A has done very well.
He is, yeah. It's his first game, actually. I think he's just had a kid recently, two days ago or so he wasn't able to...
Congratulations to the A family.
Yes, to the Trialist A family. Rogalski with a really nice ball out.
It's brilliant centre forward play.
To the right-hand side to Trialist A. What can he produce? Tries to find Cam Thompson. Cam Thompson just found a pocket of space in behind there, but didn't quite have the angle to get a shot or a cross away. Swans are recycling now. Joey Jones with it on the right for the Swans.
He looks very assured on that ball. Jackson clears. Dean will compete. He's let me down. Absolutely let me down.
Yeah. Well, it's a Farnham throw-in.
I think both managers will be relatively happy with the start.
Jack Dean tries to play a ball over the top, but Tobin is there for the Swans. Josh Barker is going to go out to the channel, but that one out for a throw-in.
Hey, make them run.
Cooksley finds Waters. Sanders has come deep to find a pocket of space, and he's found Jackson. Jackson looks for Sanders again, and he's found him. Owen Dean. Not brilliant from him, but he's done well to win it back. It's come out to Cooksley. He'll shoot.
Oh.
Pre-season sighter.
Yep. Yeah, it's been a fairly, I'd say, even opening 15 minutes. The game played a bit more in Walton's half than Farnham's half so far, but neither side really able to get any clear-cut shots or chances.
I think the best
away.
opportunity is probably the little pocket of space found in over the top.
Yeah, Cam had that a few moments ago. Obviously, there was a block that Owen Bolger made and Joey Jones as well, but nothing clear-cut.
Oh,
I
again.
don't think either keeper's had to make a save yet.
One of those fouls there that you only get as the defender. I feel like a ref, if he sees someone going in on goal, he always blows up there.
Yeah. It's getting a bit nippy up here. Might have to put my, might have to put my hoodie on.
It's been a muggy day, but
Well, not as hot as yesterday, thankfully, because that wasn't too pleasant. This country's not built for the heat, is it?
I'm not sure it's built for a lot at the moment. Walton can come in here.
David Rogalski is here. He's got Cam Thompson as a runner. Cam Thompson offloads it to Joel Powell. Swans just looking to work it here, not trying to rush it at all. Joey Jones with a nice ball. David Rogalski on the turn, but can't maintain possession. He's won it back straight away, though.
Strong there.
Really getting stuck in, Rogalski. He's won a throw in.
Enjoying the Walton commentary guy, very knowledgeable. Believe that's Farnham superfan Andy. So.
Not enjoying the Farnham commentary though, is he?
No, not quite. Chertsey beats Slough 3-1.
Have we got anyone from the US tuning in? Farnham or Walton side? Harry watching?
I imagine Harry is watching, much to the delight of the guests he's with on holiday. But that is just part of it, isn't it?
What is it? 10 a.m. there, 9 a.m.
And just beginning to get a little bit more of a grip on this.
Side.
Duarte caught napping there.
I still think that neither side has really been able to establish any clear patterns of possession or really get a hold on the game in midfield.
How different? I mean, obviously Billy was in the coaching team under manager. How different is that style of play now? Are there little adaptations that you've made, or
there's always
is it largely similar
naturally
principles?
small adaptations, but that's mainly brought about through the personnel you have. Certain personnel are only going to be able to play in a certain way, or better suited to playing out in a certain way, or being positioned differently. So there's always small nuances, but on the whole, the style of play is still very much the same. No foul given there.
He sort of gave up there, yeah. Marson plays it out to Ryan Canane. Farnham need a bit more going forward here. Duarte's done really well to knock it on. It's a poor touch. But he recovers.
Came at him quickly,
yeah.
In fairness to him. He's mopped up well.
He's very confident on the ball.
Yeah, he's still a player who's getting back to fitness. Joey Jones, he was injured through the majority of the back end of last season.
Meaton finds Canane. Canane into Jack Dean on. I reckon I know where this is going.
Going in search of the other Dean, but Josh Tobin's going to shepherd that one out.
Andy watching from Spain. "18 minutes gone." Very long ball forward, but goes through all the way to Marson. Ryan will bring it forward. Who is going to risk? Who's going to take the first risk? Who's going to get the first opportunity?
Yeah, I don't think there's. Yeah, as I said, neither keepers had to make a save yet. Just over the head of Daryl Sanders, that, and comes through to Josh Barker.
Yeah, there's a 2v1 over here. I think the Farnham coaching staff were begging for. Duarte's won it back. Cooks has played a lovely ball through to Sanders. Ooh. It looks strong. Might have got a bit of the ball.
Yeah, I think he did get the ball, but it's just the way he lunged in. I mean, you give the referee an easy foul to give when you lunge in.
What's that?
No ball at all there.
No ball at all.
Don't know about that, John. No, got a bit there.
We'll tell you in a sec. Just watching back the replay here. Cooksley played a lovely ball over. I think he's got a touch on it, but it's a foul.
As I said, when you lunge in like that, you always just give the...
It's the sound more than anything.
Yeah.
Cooksley and Sanders standing over it. I imagine it'll be the number 10 who takes it.
Scored a few free kicks in his time, hasn't he, Daryl Sanders? Yeah.
Jackson! Get Cooks on Dad's well!
Oh. Looks like it's going to Cooksley.
Wow. Might there be a little routine on here?
Cooksley.
Clips it in. It's cleared by Trialis there, the 21 for the Swans.
Neaton plays it to Rollinson, who's going to pick it up in this deep pocket.
Hang up!
Dean plays it into Martins.
Oh, no one there. It's going to be a Swans ball.
Cooksley tried to appeal for it.
Yeah, well, the game very much being played in the Walton half at the moment. Swans haven't been able to really grab hold of the game in midfield, so I'm sure that's something they're going to want to change. But I think it was also similar to our game against Rains Park last week, in that we were 2-0 down inside 15 minutes and not really having much of the ball. And then towards the end of the first half, really got back into it, and second half was one-way traffic, really.
Do you think it'll be a much different team that comes on in the second half, or...?
I expect to see 5 or 6 changes. I think we're still at the stage of pre-season where you're trialling certain things out. Certainly when it comes to personnel as well. So nothing's set in stone. 3 weeks into pre-season. So I'd expect to see, probably up to 5, 6 changes for the Swans.
Farnham only carrying a squad of 16 at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's tough to in non-league, isn't it? I mean,
We've had a couple of kids that have done really well, but they're playing with the 18s at the moment, so...
It's just tough to keep people happy. Obviously, everyone wants to be in the squad every week, and at non-league level, everyone wants to be playing. So it's really tough to maintain.
I think more so than ever as well. There's if you're not playing, you'll just go and play somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously the dual reg system as well that allows players to kind of be part of 2 clubs at once. So I think that's something we'll be looking to utilise for a couple of players in the upcoming season. And I think that does make sense, obviously, if you've, say, Farnham got a player that would be a squad player that wants to get regular minutes at a Step 5 club, say, but, wants to play half the season and train at Farnham, it makes sense. So
I often think it makes... if I was a Step 5 or 6 club that was looking for that, I would make my match days a different day. So so they can still travel with their first team.
Potentially, yeah.
You can go and play on a Wednesday or or a Thursday like that.
I just think from a manager's perspective, though, you do want the commitment from your players, don't you? You don't want your players to kind of belong to another club, I guess. So
Jackson's won it back really well. Farnham can spring on a counter-attack here. Rollinson's well over.
Sanders picks it up. But
nice flick to Owen Dean.
Possession.
Oh, Jackson. Can he find Rollinson? He's gone for Sanders.
Great slide in there from the trialist 21, and it's a free kick.
Rollinson was in acres of space. We've got a viewer from Japan and a viewer from the US, so appreciate the support.
Yeah, the Swans have got a few fans in Japan. We've got our official Japan supporters page as well. He's coming over for the start of the season.
Yeah, be interesting to hear the official attendance. I'd probably guess 200-300.
Yeah, it feels like a 250 kind of range, doesn't it?
The Pepper Army standing camera view you can see is there's a few people in there. It's very busy for QPR. Ball's played over Jack Dean's head, but he gets to it well. Martin's going to have to come short, and he's been done there a little bit.
Cam Thompson dropping well to win that ball.
So Cam Thompson, talk me through his story. Where's he come from?
So he joined us at the back end of last season. It was we actually got a DM from his brother on Twitter saying, my brother's, because Cam's not on social media. His brother said, look, my The brother's been out of the club, he's been injured for a while, but he wants to try and get back into things. Can play in the Championship for Barnsley, actually.
Oh, wow.
So he's had senior minutes in the Championship, so he's certainly trod the path of, player in the professional side. Came through the academy system, I think. It wasn't at Barnsley, but he's played at that level, played National League level. He's just never had a kind of good run of a season or two of being with the same team. So he's looked in good nick for the Swans thus far, and I imagine he'll be a key part of the squad this season. Joel Powell out to the right-hand side, and that's a foul. It's a similar challenge to the one the Swans made 5 minutes or so ago. There was a bit of ball, but a bit more of not ball. And the Swans have a good position. This is almost a carbon copy position to where Farnham had it out
just
on
that
the
side.
other
side, isn't it? Yeah. And you've got a left footer over there.
Yeah, so it's going to be another in-swinger. It's Owen Bolger over this, who's...
It's just one of those where you've got to hit it with a lot of pace.
Yeah.
To that, in between the back post and the sort of 6-yard box, and someone's got to gamble.
Yeah. Bolger clips this one in. It's a good ball as well, but steered away.
Martins did well there defensively.
And the flag's gone up anyhow. Yeah, this is a free kick, so there can be offside from it, which is why the Walton assistant manager, Darren Simpson, pressing the Walton defence to get higher.
Yeah, it just looks like a goal kick when it's taken back there. That is a great
Tobin
pin.
clipping that out wide to the trialist number 7, who goes in search of David Rogalski, and Meaton forced to put the ball into touch there.
Oh, it's brilliant from Sanders.
Yeah,
Farnham
really
have got 4
nice
and 3
touch.
here. Sanders.
Dean is steaming down the right-hand side here, and he's in a bit of space as well. Josh Tobin puts that one into touch. Sanders should have gone wide to Dean, who was in
Or taking a
acres of
shot
space.
himself. He tried to feed Martins, but
Yeah, and Martins, he had his back to play there. He didn't really know that ball was coming towards him, and he's down as well here.
as we're saying, Farnham carrying a squad of 16, so they're gonna need Martins to get up. Cooksley stands over the corner. Played in for Canane. Barker's done really well there, and you're going to see a lot of that this year.
And honestly, I think that's one of the biggest reasons why we signed him. We were beaten so often from set pieces, free kicks, corners last season, and especially in the Southern League, which is a really physical league. It adds up over the course of 42 games if you're getting beaten, you know, once or twice a game like that. So that's one of the really impressive parts of his game, is his aerial presence. Canane cutting that one out.
Yeah, Canane's had a very good game again. No Jordan Stepney today. He is away, I believe. That's what you do get at this time of year sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, look, fair enough. It is non-league. Players have got families, school holidays, etc. It's always hard to align. So there really is only a kind of 2-3 week window if you've got kids.
Yeah, that's true. Kids have only literally just broken up today, or yesterday, sorry.
Goes wide to the trialist A, who's on the left-hand side for the Swans now. Tries to take his man on, but cut out, and
Walton,
Dean goes across.
been caught a few times on that counter attack, not leaving too many Matt back. It's brave. It is brave, and you have to admire him for it.
Yeah, I mean, we died on that hill a lot last year, and obviously, I guess it comes down to personnel more than anything.
Sloppy
goes
there.
up there. You know, the higher and higher up you go, you need players who are suited to being able to play the game at that level, which is often tough. So Swans free kick. Joel Powell. Tobin goes wide, but that one is
Just too much on it.
Yeah. He does like those switches, Josh Tobin, but you do have to nail them.
Not something I ever had in my locker. Brains Park beating Kingstonian for those interested.
I do find it strange that they're playing each other in pre-season and they've got a league fixture against each other in August as well, so...
Weird, but not sure why the manager's signed off on that one. Maybe it's something to do with the ground share, I don't know.
Possibly, yeah.
Rollinson just caught on his heels a little bit there.
I think given you have a choice of playing literally any team that's not in your league, there's not least one you ground share with as well.
I was going to say, hopefully, we don't meet each other in pre-season next year, but then hopefully you guys go up and we go up as well,
Yeah,
and we can play. We can come down to the hub. Owen's done really well. Dean's
Bounced off
possibly
Jack
used
Dean's
the hand
hand, but
there, yeah.
more unintentional. The Swans look to have gone to a 3 at the back. Jerry Jones playing right centre-back, Josh Tobin centre-back, and Owen Bolger left centre-back. I think it's a 3.
And Trialist Days
come out to left wing-back. Maybe even left wing. He's playing quite high. But it definitely is a 3 at the back for the Swans.
Kinane. She's got 12, 13 minutes left of the first half.
Well cut out there. Trialist Day finds Cam Thompson, Dave Rogowski with his back to goal. Goes out right. They are twins, by the way, Trialist C and D. I'm tempted to say the number 7 and 8 for the
That will be
Swans.
confusing for you.
Yeah.
Sanders finds Jackson. Can he find Rollinson? He's giving him a lot to do there.
Had to go a bit wider. I think he wanted to try and play Dean through there, but Owen was tight to him.
To be fair, Farnham's quality on those counter-attacks has just not been there. They've had a few times to make that final pass. It just feels like they pick the wrong pass every time.
Sanders obviously had that one where he tried to find Martins when Martins wasn't kind of watching the play, and Sanders could have either had a shot or gone wide. But I think that honestly has been the best chance of the game thus far. There hasn't really been any clear-cut opportunities for either side.
Farnham fans find their voice. Took half an hour, but they are here. Brilliant support throughout last season. I'm sure we'll see the same again. Two very well-followed clubs on the up.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of teams that look around and look at what these two clubs are doing and
Absolutely.
be looking to emulate.
Starts with good media, I'll tell you that. It really does. Cam Thompson battling hard there, but Kinane standing up to it.
Martins. He's done well there, Martins. He's found Sanders. He's given Owen Dean a lot to do.
Barker's done well. Out well, and Joey Jones reading that well, directing Josh to come out. Josh Tobin goes over the top. Bit of bounce on that, actually.
Jack Dean's
Hard
done
to get
well.
under control.
Been one of Farnham's best players in pre-season, Jack Dean. Another player who had a bit of an injury-trodden season last year, and will be looking to have a really good season. But he's a fantastic player, along with his brother. Waters wins it. Martins puts it on Dean's back foot, but Dean's flicked it round. It's a nice
Lovely turn there, yeah.
Warren have had a lot of the ball here, but they've just not been able to sort of progress.
Penetrate and really getting that ball.
Maybe they'll have to go a bit more
through.
direct at times, and they have a.
I think if Walton want to score, or at least really get shots away, they're going to have to find a way to get Dave Rogalski into the game. He's been a bit isolated up there so far.
Yeah. I think they've just got to be a bit braver. Even if you do misplace it, just pass through the lines and try and be brave. They're all good enough footballers, otherwise they wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Take a few more risks.
The Swans just need to work the channels a bit more, get the wingers involved. Obviously, we've gone to a 3 at the back, which has given us more width with the wing backs. It's really about just exploiting that now.
It's probably a formation you don't come across a lot, but Farnham's 4-2-2-2.
Swans throw came off Rollinson. Barker with it now. It's well read there, but
It's a great
strong
tackle.
challenge and a good one as well.
Mark Waters.
Get a shot away here.
Oh, he's brought down. Penalty.
Penalty.
Looked to be a penalty from here.
Yeah.
Sort of just bought that. I don't think Waters was potentially going to score, but brought down. And Sanders and Cooksley have a debate over who's going to take it.
Cooksley is your penalty taker, isn't he?
Yep, and he's got the ball. I think they played rock, paper, scissors. I think that's what I'm hearing from the bench.
Yeah,
It's Harry Cooksley.
It did look like a foul there on the replay. Josh Barker, big moment for him.
Cooksley steps up and slots it away. Farnham take the lead. It's a well-taken penalty from Harry Cooksley. Hop, skip and a jump. If any team have edged it, it's probably been Farnham. But
I would say so, yeah. I think, again, the ball was given away in the Walton third there. It was a sharp pass into the trialist, the number 8, I think it was, who couldn't get it under control. And when you give it away in the final third like that, as I said, you're just going to run out of opportunities to give it away so many times.
and it's funny that it actually didn't come from a sort of Farnham shot, and it had to be brought down and take a penalty to do it.
Well, that's actually been the first kind of clear shot of the game from either side, really.
Yeah, Cooksley he had a penalty against QPR and he went the other way. So I'd imagine Josh did his homework there.
Jerry Jones goes in search of Joel Powell. That one's gone out of play. I think this game has played out similarly to Walton's first half against Rains Park last week, though, in that we haven't really penetrated much or got up into the opposition third a huge amount.
Rollinson can make it worse for Walton here. It's Waters. He's going to let fly.
Good save from Josh Barker.
I think the impressive thing was how he caught it as well. He didn't just...
Yeah, parry it straight back.
Yeah. But Waters probably did the right thing. I was not expecting him to have a shot.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Barker's so strong as well. You look how he's built. He's built like a rugby player almost. He's got that strength to...
It looks like he's even put on a lot of size since that playoff final.
But he's surprisingly agile as well for a keeper of his frame. Tobin goes wide. Trialist playing that forward, but Meaton should be able to get to that ahead of Joel Powell. And Brzozowski knocks that one straight into the car park.
I'm parked in the other car park, thankfully.
Yeah, it was tight getting my motor in the corner there, right at the end by the skip.
It is a very, very tight car park. It's one no supporters can park there.
It must get even busier on actual league match days as well.
Feels like the thing is, the further up you go, it's almost like less of a need for massive parking. Like we went to Sutton in the Cup, and there was just like basically none. And Dorking is like you park in the car park.
Barker sends this one long in search of Rogalski.
Meeting challenges him well.
Cam Thompson pressing there. Swans have it back.
I think Farnham just happy with their lead. Going to sit off for a minute, and it's now up to Walton to come forward.
Yeah, and take the game to Farnham, which I think they really need to put some impetus on. Tobin goes wide. It's a nice ball as well, inch perfect.
He's done really well.
And the trialist turns his man. Is Joel Powell with a chance to get a shot away? He has a shot. And that one over the Farnham goal.
That was good though. They were
well
brave.
Worked.
Yeah.
It was well worked. And I guess it's what, from a Walton perspective, you want to see more of. Just getting forward, taking the risks, having shots like that. Yes, it didn't really trouble the man in the Farnham net, but I think, you know, the more and more of those we get away, we're going to get closer to where we want to be, which is getting this game back level.
And look, results not important at this stage of the season. As you know, I think Farnham lost most of their first 4 games last year, and then went on to not lose a game in the season. So the results don't matter here. It's minutes in the legs, getting people fit, getting them through that sort of pre-season schedule.
Yeah.
But it is always nice. It's always nice to see goals.
Yeah. Yeah, you can hear Billy Rowley asking the Swans players to get Rogalski involved. And the game is really going to run through him if the Swans have any chance of getting a couple of goals in the second half. That one could have stayed on the ground.
Yeah.
Dissolve it. Dissolve it.
So man open on the left-hand side, the trialist number 7, and he's got a lot of room in front of him. He can take Dean on. And he just gets his feet muddled up a bit.
Well done, no foul, just stand up. Just stand up. Good.
Rogalski for the Swans goes wide. The Swans got a lot of space to work with here. Joel Powell on the outside, but that one, not a great ball.
That shows you, doesn't it, how they work it. They worked out here to this side and tried to work it all the way across the other side of the pitch, isn't it?
Yeah, we're seeing again Rogalski just
He got involved, and
he's getting involved on the edge of the Farnham third, but we need him involved at the edge of the Farnham box.
But when he did get involved, that's been, you know, some of Walton's best play. So
yeah, I see Joel Powell, the Swans number 10, getting quite high as well. He's finding a few pockets of space in behind that right channel. Swans unable to have anything clear cut thus yet, though.
Jack Dean has done
using his body very well there.
Couple minutes left. Oh. And that is the end of the half. Farnham go in a goal to the good.
Yeah, I mean, it was I'd say a relatively even half. Farnham certainly shaded it towards the middle stages, obviously getting that penalty as well. I think 1-0, neither side can really complain with that. I don't think the Swans are going to have to do a lot more in the second half if they're going to get back into it from an attacking perspective. So it'll be interesting to see the changes made at half-time.
Yeah,
And,
looks like Walton have got quite a big squad here today. So, and we'll stick with you at half time. If you've got any questions, Farnham or Walton and Hersham related, do send them in. But on that, I'll start with this season. What are the aims? If you as I know you don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's you don't want to say the obvious, do you? I mean, there's a reason we made the changes that we did.
Yep.
I think that was clear from our perspective, that the club needed change. There were, a huge amount of things that needed overhauling, really, from an operational perspective, from how the football side is run, the processes behind it. And to that end, I guess the end goal isn't really... You can't really chase the end goal without chasing the process. I know it sounds quite a cringe thing to say, but for us, it's really about over the...
Because you could have gone up last season and you wouldn't have actually had the right process in place, and
exactly
maybe you'd have
that.
fallen apart in step 2.
Exactly that, and for us, it's really over the course of the 42 weeks and this part of pre-season, following those right processes. It's about having the right recruitment strategy, finding the right players in the right ways, making sure that there is analysis for every single player, backing up the reason you're bringing them in the certain position, how they're going to suit the style, regular reviews for each position, a huge impetus on the analysis and video side as well, which is something we really want to integrate more of. We've got a couple of analysts working with us now this season. It's something Billy's going to be a lot more involved in as well. So I guess from that perspective as well, the training side, we've brought a strength and conditioning coach in who's full-time at Fulham, and he's helping us out part-time.
That was that made a big difference for us last year.
Yeah. And I think, again, in pre-season, over the course of 6-8 weeks, you see that add up. You get to the start of the season, the players just are that 10% sharper.
I think it's just having someone who that's their priority, because Billy's priority is always going to be football.
Absolutely. Setting up the team, managing the team, managing the individuals in the team, making sure that, that kind of thing. But really bringing in specialised individuals within the kind of team structure to be able to bring the most out of players in their respective areas. So having the strength and conditioning coach is big. Obviously, we've got the leisure centre right next door to us, so we've managed to get gym memberships for every single player now. So before Saturday, if they want to go for a swim, we'll use the sauna. Before training, after training, getting the strength and conditioning coach to give them plans respective to their needs as footballers, really fine-tuning every single aspect across the entire club. And that's not something you see the benefit of after 1 week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but over 42 weeks in the season, it adds up.
And at the end of the day, let's say obviously we all hope that you do go up, but if you don't and you follow the right processes, that promotion will happen in the next
Well, that's the thing, and it's why outright you can't really chase promotion. You can't chase that end goal. It's not about winning every week and finding a way to scrape through. There will be weeks this season where we lose 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, but Bill will go, actually, you know what? We tick the boxes on every single thing that I wanted you to do. Brilliant. You do that again in the following weeks, we'll win. And I guess that's football. League seasons are so long. That's why, going unbeaten for you guys last year was really unique, because...
And it's weird because even last season, it's probably the only time in this club's history that it was promotional costs. We couldn't realistically look ourselves in the face and be a Step 5 club any longer.
Yeah.
So it was promotional costs. Now it's a bit different for us this season. We want to go up, and we believe we've got the squad to definitely challenge for the title. But if we don't, and we maybe miss out, or we lose in the playoffs, we'll retune the squad and go again. So I think we want to be in the league above in the next couple of years. If that's next year, then brilliant.
Yeah.
I think that's the way. You get teams that sort of chase it no matter what no matter what happens, and you pick up bad habits that way. I think.
Yeah.
You maybe bring in the wrong player because you think he can give you the little 10-goal difference or the magic pill to get you over the line. But it's an interesting one. You mentioned Tottenham earlier. Who are the other teams that are really...
I would say naturally Dorchester Town. I think they had an unbelievable run towards the back end of last season. I think they won something like 13 out of their last 15 games. Wow. They were fighting relegation in February, and they finished a few points outside the playoffs at the end of April. Largely brought about through Tom Killick, who left Poole Town after 20-odd years to join Dorchester, and brought the majority of that team with him. And they're a very accomplished side, extremely experienced for that level. I'd expect them naturally very, very well-established club as well, Dorchester Town. If you've been to their ground, ex-conference side in the 90s, massive 5,000-6,000 capacity stadium, really impressive setup they've got. And I guess the talent in the West Country as well. They're one of the premier destinations as well.
It's starting
in
to
Step
become
3.
a bit of a hotbed, isn't it?
It is indeed, yeah. So I'd say Dorchester Town certainly will be up there. Havant and Waterlooville naturally as well.
Yep.
Obviously a very well
Are they full-time?
resourced. They're hybrid, I'm led to believe. So they're training mornings twice a week and then otherwise evenings.
That is tough.
I think they were full-time last year.
Yeah.
But they've changed a lot over the summer. I believe they've changed their management team, a lot of the players, and again a hugely
Just a side of that, a club of that size normally will be they'll be in the right end of the
exactly
table,
again.
yeah.
And look, they might not win the league, they might finish second, but they'll be up there. And
Yeah.
over the course of the season, they're going to cause problems. Very well followed side, very well established at this level. So I'd say Hamilton Waterlooville certainly as well. I'd say the two teams that finished inside the playoffs last season, so Tottenham and Gosport. Again, naturally, two very well. Resource clubs with great players, good management, a big scouting network. Again, the processes that I was talking about, they invest a lot of time in those clubs.
Another sort of hotbed down on the south coast, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and then
Lot of
there's a
talent down there.
huge amount of talent, and there's clubs towards the middle end of our table with players that you think, bloody hell, how are they not playing National League? So even
I think the game as a neutral, the one we're all looking forward to, and I know you can't say this, is probably Winchester.
yes and no, because I mean, look, there's that kind of side of it that, yeah, obviously there was a bit of history between the two clubs, but in terms of footballing wise, there's not. It's
No.
not a match.
Not very
up in
close,
that-
particularly. I mean,
No, I mean, obviously they've got a much better setup this year. They've got their 3G facility in,
Yep.
and they've had their renovations. I believe we're going there in October, so that'll be an interesting game. But from a footballing perspective, I mean, you'd approach that just as you do any other game. There's nothing different in that. But obviously towards.
do you have a big derby in this level? Or
I
would it
guess
be
Chertsey coming up this year
True.
is our kind of.
and then I guess
our
Basingstoke
derby.
historically, from a football perspective, not historically.
Yeah, I mean,
last-
given the history, obviously that is a big game. I think at their place last year we had about 1,000 there. At our place we had 800. So that's always kind of had a big following, that fixture. But again, from a footballing perspective, not much in that. The ones that we're really looking forward to, we've got Chertsey, so Bank Holiday Monday in August, and then again on New Year's Day we go and visit them. They're 15 minutes down the road
Great
from
setup
us.
down
A
there.
fantastic setup, great following as well. When we played them at home in our Step 4 season 2 years ago, they brought 250 down. It was a great game. Won that one in the last minute, and then Bracknell as well. We've got on Boxing. I think it's Boxing Day and then Easter Monday.
Be interesting to see how they do under new ownership.
Yeah, I mean it's always a change for clubs, isn't it? Everything at the club changes, the way it's run, the people in charge, and naturally that brings about a lot of change on the pitch as well.
Yeah, we've
Obviously,
got them in a couple of weeks. Oh no, yeah, we've got Dorking next week and then Bracknell on the Tuesday following that.
yeah, obviously there was a lot of investment under Kane as their chairman as well, who put a huge amount into that club. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to sustain that similar level of support. But again, they've got a fantastic setup. Their ground's great. Got that new 3G pitch in. They're a club that kind of does
Have you
things the
played
right
on
ways.
it? Have your team played on it?
We
It's
did.
a
We
tri-
played on Boxing Day there. Yeah, it's got sand in it, hasn't it? Yeah.
We played Sandhurst last year on. It was Halloween and it was no other game in the area was on, and it was impossible to play on.
Yeah, I do think Bracknell, again, they're a side that could certainly be up there. I think they're very, very well coached as well. Jordan Ives a very good coach. We
Very
played them.
highly rated coach, isn't
We
he?
played them last season, and it's clear to see why they finished in the playoffs, even not being in the playoffs until the end of the season, really. There's a lot of teams. There's a few I've missed out, but from our league, it's going to be a competitive league, and I guess that's what is going to make it exciting. No one really knows who's going to be up there, who can win it. I'd say there's probably 10 or 11 teams that could very easily finish in kind of higher playoff positions.
And you've seen Walton and Hersham go from step 6 to step 3. What do you think so far has been the biggest jump?
Oh, definitely 4 to 3, and that's unanimous from everyone across the board. I'd say step 5 and 4, there's not a huge amount of difference. The travel is one of the main things in that. You're playing teams that are 15-20 minutes away every week. This season, I think we've got 2 or 3 games that are within an hour of us. Whereas when we were in this league,
It's a brilliant league for travelling.
Yeah,
especially the South Centre is unbelievable.
when we were in Isthmian South, I think only 2 or 3 of our games were more than 1 hour, and that was Thatcham, Guernsey, and then maybe one other. Everyone else, we were within half an hour of basically 75% of the league.
Especially where you are located in Walton.
And it makes a huge difference. You're not getting up to get on the coach at 7 a.m. to go down to Plymouth or to Taunton. Players are well rested for their Saturdays. There's no work commitment issues on Tuesday nights. It's easier to have a better season if you're kind of well run and have got the good setup in Step 4 level. We go to Step 3 again. The standard of clubs we're seeing at this level. We go to Dorchester Town, who have a 6,000 capacity.
Did you play in the FA Cup?
We did, 2 years ago. Go to places like Havant, Waterlooville, Gloucester City, established old conference sides.
Yeah.
And you just go to these places and you're like, wow, National League setup some of these clubs have got. So there's a real clear jump between Step 4 and 3, I'd say. Step 5 and 4, very similar. The majority of the clubs kind of bounce between the two leagues.
Yeah, if you look at the Step 4 league, it's made up of, historically, Step 5.
Yeah.
Like Westfield and...
And again, the biggest thing that we saw is going back to the processes I was talking about, teams having scouting networks, a real emphasis on analysis, real emphasis on doing the right things from a strength and conditioning perspective. You just don't get that at Step 4 level across the board. You have a few clubs that do it at the top end, but it's not kind of something that at least half of the teams in the league would apply, certainly the ones at the top end. So if you want to be successful at Step 3 level, you really have to apply those processes, and there's no shortcuts to that. You just can't short circuit the processes that are required. You can do well for a season, but it doesn't mean you're going to have continued success. And
I guess that's the decision you guys made, right? You had the success for a season.
Absolutely. And
it's a brave decision. I imagine most outsiders probably, and I'm sure there was a lot of...
and again, the outsiders, it's very easy looking at it from the outside in. And I guess one thing that we weren't guilty of, but one thing we've always tried to do is give everyone involved in the club who's been involved in its success the best PR possible and really build them up, be that as management, as players, as other staff. You want to make them feel like they are driving the success, which they were. But that's a double-edged sword, because as soon as you want to make the change, then it's like, well, that person's brought you all the success, they've done all of this, X, Y, Z. To an extent that's true, but at the same time,
there's a lot that goes
into it behind it, but it's also not to say that we're not going to go and replicate it in a different way with different people. Ultimately, the clubs are set up so that the majority of the people within the structure can be changed around, and you can still kind of get a similar outcome. Obviously, as you know, the first team manager is by far and away the most important.
Person at a football club, isn't it?
And there's no two ways about that.
I won't tell Jono that.
But
there'll be a few changes for the Swans here.
It looks like Archie Proctor's come on for the Swans, the number 5 centre back with blonde hair.
No changes for Farnham so far. I think that probably gives you an indication of where Jono sees his team at the moment.
Yeah, we've got Jaden Crowhurst and Adam Meckie coming on for the Swans as well. It's going to be interesting to see how the Swans approach this half, I think.
Yeah, do they really risk it? And
I wouldn't even say so much risking it, but as I said, if Walton want to get back into this game, they're going to have to play the game through Dave Rogowski.
Yep.
He's very much that focal point.
Had a very good season last year.
Had an unbelievable season last year. It was almost the sole reason that Marlow got promoted with his goal-scoring exploits. So we're hoping he can replicate that this season.
Marlow in your league, or are they in the...
Yeah, they came up. Yeah. They came up. We're playing them first home game.
I just imagine they're quite like a bit of a border team for the Isthmian Prem and the Southern.
Yes, yeah, I mean...
Because Hendon are in the Isthmian Prem, aren't they?
Any kind of London-based team, I guess, is going to be...
Because Leatherhead were in the Isthmian Prem, weren't they?
They were, but there's the question kind of, if they do go up, which league do they go in? Because they pretty much straddle the boundary now. The boundary shifts based on, obviously, the teams that go up or down, but...
It's sort of pulling west, isn't it? Down to the West Country.
Yeah, it's expanding outwards that side now, and as you're seeing, it's moved much more westwards even over the summer with teams like Taunton and and Gloucester coming into the league, Frome and Wimborne, who are kind of Bournemouth-based, and losing a lot of the London-based sides. Harrow Borough going down, Hendon moving into the
Hayes and
Isthmian,
Yeading going down.
Hayes and Yeading going down, Chesham going up, Beaconsfield going down. You know, a lot of the kind of games that were local to us.
I thought Beaconsfield would be in the South Central, but they've gone into the Southern Central.
Yeah.
Lewis Flatman warming up below us. Wonder what time we'll see him. Farnham will get us underway, attacking the clock end. Interesting trend last season with teams flipping the kickoff. Farnham will get underway. Cooksley hangs one up. We're back underway for the second half, so if you are still tuned in or just joined us, Farnham lead 1-0, kicking in from right to left in their claret and blue striped shirts, white socks and white shorts. Walton and Hersham, the visitors, white shirts, black shorts, black socks, kicking from left to right. Rogalski's done well. Walton could be in here. Cooksy's going to have to get back on his defensive work, and he does. He finds the skipper, Canane. Back to Canane. Canane plays it forward. Jones again. Jackson wins. Really quick start to this one. Sanders finds Joel Rollinson. Rollinson plays it inside to Owen Dean. Owen Dean tries to scoop it forward.
Cut out by Tobin, yeah.
Ooh. Sort of got caught there. This is what you would probably call Daryl Sanders' range. Maybe a bit far. It is Sanders that stands over it. Don't tell me Sanders and Cooksey are going to play rock, paper, scissors again.
I tell you what, this is actually a very good range, because you've got more than enough room to get it up and down,
yeah.
Which
might be a tad far.
But when you're a ball striker like Sanders is, this is the range you want, because you can get that pace on it as well.
Cooksey runs over it. Sanders. Barker spills it.
Yeah, just bounced in front of him. Bit of an awkward bounce.
It's a tough one.
I don't think Sanders got anywhere near the power on that he would have liked to have generated, because, as I said, when you're that far out, you can get that power on it and get it up and down.
Might have been one because of the distance. Maybe a flatman would have preferred that.
Another very good ball striker he is.
The enigma that is Lewis Flatman.
We'll be seeing him soon, do you think?
Yeah, I think he'll be the first change. Maybe 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Him for maybe Sanders. That is, based on what we've seen this pre-season, I'd say that is probably the first sub.
Yeah, Rogalski going wide to Cam Thompson. Adam Meckie is on. The number 12 for the Swans came on at half-time, along with Archie Proctor.
Sanders.
And
Farnham
Jaden
pinched
Crowhurst.
Owen Dean on this left channel. Stands him up. Plays it to the edge of the box for Waters. He's had another shot.
Joey Jones.
He's going to have to clear that.
Yeah,
he does.
He's done the right thing there. I don't want to give it away again.
Farnham starting the first half very brightly. Walton can't get out there. Sanders back to Jackson. Jackson into Cooksley. Cooksley's got one more over there, and Jack Dean is giving him a tricky one to keep in, and he can't do it. Walton Hersham, free kick.
Yes, George.
Meckie on. Who's been Walton Hersham? Who's been Walton Hersham's brightest spark this pre-season?
Jaden Crowhurst corner for the ball on the right-hand side. Joel Powell. There's been a few. I'd say Dave Rogalski's certainly looked the part so far. He's obviously been the Swans' marquee signing so far. Anis Nur is also on for the Swans, 14.
Seems to score every week last year.
Who, Anis? Yeah, more or less. Well, he scored the winner last week in the last
Martins
minute.
has done well. He's played through Sanders. Sanders rolls it into Rollinson. It's 2. It came from Duarte Martins. He played Daryl Sanders. And Joel Rollinson gets his Farnham Town career off the mark with a nice finish.
Yeah, smart finish, and Sanders going wide as well. He chose the right option there instead of choosing to go alone. Rollinson was in a lot of space and just had to pick his spot with the calm finish there. And
yeah, nothing Barker could do there really.
Yeah, good move from Farnham Town. The Swans unpicked a little too easily there for their liking, I reckon.
Yeah, they had a few of those opportunities in the first half. Didn't quite make the most of it, but they did that time. And Joel Rollinson, who has had a good game today, and he's learning the role, and he's got his career off the mark. It's
yeah, I mean, it all came from a throw-in down the Farnham side that went about 40 yards straight to Sanders. No one picked it up really.
Yeah, it's weird for the Swans. Doesn't seem to be that much of a defensive-minded player in that midfield.
Not at the moment, no.
Oh, they've been caught on it again. It's Martins. He plays Rollinson. It's last-ditch defending here. Owen Dean! Just down Barker's throat, but Farnham are on top.
Yeah, the Swans looking a bit shaky at the back here, giving it away a bit too often. Ball goes out wide in search of Anameki, but that one's out of play. It'd be interesting to be in Bill or Darren's shoes at the moment in terms of this remainder of the 40 minutes of the game. What are we looking to get out of it from a Walton perspective? Obviously, a win is not important in the context of things or the result so much, but what are we trying to establish in this next 40 minutes?
What are those like 3 or 5 things you're going to learn?
Yeah, if you said to Bill now, what are the 3 things you want to get out of this game in the next 40 minutes that you're going to say at the end of the game? We did that from when we conceded the second goal. What are we looking to do here? And for us, I think it's really penetrate, keep the ball well in midfield. We've given it away a bit too much.
Look how deep the number 9's having to drop there. Like, you need to get him in the box.
Well, I think that's part of Rogalski's game. He does drop deep quite a lot, but as I said, just wide from Meki.
And it came from the wide areas.
Yeah,
when Walton have gone wide, they have looked dangerous.
That's been the Swans' best chance of the game as well. Meki with a free shot in the box that flashed just past the post. Rogalski getting involved again there, and dropping deep is a big part of his game. He does that a lot, and as long as he's getting involved, whether it's on the edge of the final third or on the edge of the box, if he's getting involved in the play and it's coming through him, the Swans are going to have chances.
Simon Keogh tuned in from Gran Canaria.
It's worse places to be.
Yeah. Certainly a little bit more impetus in Walton's play now. They're looking to move it a bit quicker. As much as the result doesn't matter, if you are a Walton player out there, you do not want to come and lose to a team that are a level below you.
No, not at all. Not at all. Rogalski using his body well there and going wide to Crowhurst. He looks to put a ball in. He goes back short to Powell. Joel Powell to Meki. Meki tries to go back to him, but it's cut out a little too easily, and it's Cooksley now with the ball for Farnham.
Yeah, Sanders really smart there. Martins plays out to Waters. That Walton have done really well to get back there. Sanders just plays it back to Jackson. Jackson will open up and find Waters. Switches on for Jack Dean, but he's not going to do it. You can just see that game starting to become a little bit more competitive out there. It's a nice header from Martins. Rollinson delivers to Jack Dean. Him and Owen just getting a bit mixed up.
Didn't have his feet in the right place there, because that would have been 3 if he did.
Good collision.
Again, I think the Swans know that they're going to have to really take the game to Farnham if they want to score. But again, you don't want to risk the other side of the coin, which is overcommitting and being caught too easily at the back.
10 minutes gone here in the second half. Farnham lead 2-0 That's Walton and Hersham. Jackson's taking a risk there. Plays it back to Canane. Rollinson comes deep. Subs for Farnham Town. Looks like Flatman and George Butler coming on. And Kaitana.
Jackson, step in one. Joe! Ben, rotate. Let's go. Joe!
Yeah, is Lewis Flatman coming on. Martin's played really well there today up front.
Especially in the second half. Really got
It's just
involved.
been a handful, obviously. Didn't really get any clear-cut chances on goal or have many shots, but he's just causing a lot of problems and unlocking space in behind. Kaitana's also on.
Flatman on, Kaitana on, George Butler on. All competing. Oh, Flatman.
Given away by Mecki.
Can he make an instant impact? He can't.
Yeah, he was going for the Jordan Gallagher from last week. He has scored from far out before. Did it at the Hub once a few years ago against Cobham. Yeah. Rogowski on the turn, doing really well there. It's across to Cam Thompson. Crowhouse with a nice ball to Joel Powell. He's got Rogowski inside. Rogowski! Oh, that's a great save from his compatriot, Rozovski.
I thought that was in. That is a brilliant save. Farnham cut open there.
It's Walton's best move of the game, even better than the one that happened a few moments ago, and it all came through Jaden Crowhurst. His ball through to Joel Powell. Rogowski making a brilliant run. I don't know how that didn't find the bottom corner, but a really good save from Rozovski in the Farnham net. Fellow Pole.
Save of his Farnham career so far.
Mecki with a good ball in. Rogowski's there, but couldn't get any clear contact with that. Crowhurst is the furthest man back for the Swans. Clips that one out in search of Mecki, but that one's into the car park here. They are nice, the new Isthmian balls, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not bad. The team are a lot happier with them than they were with the Combined Counties balls. That's a great area from Butler, but no one changes it. No one chases it.
Yeah, the Combined Counties balls weren't very good, were they? I don't think there were many things about the Combined Counties that were actually that good. The
travel is good.
Yeah, but getting your fixtures the day before the season starts, all of that nonsense.
Very glad to say we're behind that.
The flag goes up there, Crowhurst in an offside position.
Mecki just demanding more there.
Yeah, Mecki obviously a very experienced player, played in the Football League with Aldershot for quite a few seasons. He's played over 200 times in the National League as well. Most recently at Bracknell at the end of last season, briefly involved in their playoff run.
Owen Dean. Not quite got involved as much as he'd have liked today.
Farnham keeping the ball quite well, again, just making the Swans work for it.
Narrow, stay narrow, Arch. You're not a left back. Damn. Drop down a bit if you need to.
Rogalski on the turn, trying to find Cam Thompson, but Dean onto that in a flash.
Farnham can come forward now. Definitely been a better period from Walton. And now Farnham will just control possession. Jackson into Cooksley. Cooksley with a lovely shimmy.
That's
to
a lovely
Sanders.
move, but Proctor stepping in to cut the play out there. It's a late one on Tobin. Advantage played. Joel Powell driving, but unable to find Crowhurst. Anis Nur can pick this up though.
Sanders is going to
Scrappy
pick that
there
up.
for a moment.
Guys on.
Tanner, can he be positive? He plays it to Owen Dean. This is the sort of area Owen Dean likes to be.
Yeah, he's going to be on the overlap here.
Tanner's made it. Flatman in the box. Sort of
great
a
ball
slight
in.
Tackle, cross.
Cam Thompson doing really well to track back there as well. Just really put a shift in today.
Make passes, make passes. Down your side.
Yep, we are live on TikTok for the Walton fans tuning in there. Some people who haven't seen us play for quite a while, I imagine. There's a brand new team with a lot of new players out there. Third game of pre-season. The Swans away at Farnham Town, currently down by 2-0, looking to get back into it, but Farnham so far standing up resolutely to the task.
Yeah, I think for Farnham Town, the strongest part of the game is definitely the defence this season, I think. Ooh. And it was to be honest, especially at the end of last season.
When you've got Ryan Kinane at the back, I think everything just becomes a little easier.
Yeah, you feel a lot safer,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
And when you combine it with Jordan Stepney, who is not here today, but another fantastic player, had a great season at Rangers Park.
Max Meaton, solid player.
Yeah. And Jack Dean, he had a very good season at Bracknell, and
Yeah.
I think what we talked about earlier, losing that playoff final, you just lose players like Sanders and Dean. If they had gone up, would we have signed them? Probably not.
Nice feet from Anis Nur. Someone asking, where's Shea Brennan today?
He's away. Him and Jordan Stepney are away today. I believe they are both back for Tuesday. I might be wrong, but
Should be a Walton throw that, it is.
yeah, Butler's got to get that out quicker.
You must lose a lot of balls here.
We do. There's a lot of angry neighbours.
As long as there's no broken windows, I think you should be
Yeah.
fine, but I'm sure you've had a couple of those over the... I'm surprised the clock-in windows haven't been broken.
Yes, Kai. Guys to you out. Guys to you out. Good. Well done.
It's just the beauty of non-league football, isn't it? When
Yeah.
you're in a residential area.
Oh, ball lobbed straight onto the pitch. Josh Tobin driving through. Yeah, Ryan Kinane not happy there.
Holds his team to a high standard, that's for sure.
He was saying that's a bleep centre half. I think he was unhappy, but Josh Tobin, probably the team's best dribbler. He loves to travel with the ball. And he scored two absolutely brilliant goals at the back end of last season just by just gliding through the opposition.
Farnham just lost a little bit with the subs, I think, so far. Just lost a little. They've lost a focal point in Martins up front.
As we were saying, he was just a handful to deal with.
Sanders, what's he going to do? Waters clears it down the line.
Oh, into the gantry and onto your bonnet. 63.5 minutes gone. Looks like Cam Thompson has dropped to left wing back for the Swans. We've got Crowhurst playing as quite an advanced right wing back. Flag goes up again.
Definitely been a Walton sort of last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think we kind of know that we have to take the game to Farnham now.
And I think as 2-0 up, you do start to sit off a little bit as Farnham as well.
Yeah, I think the remit's changed for Farnham now. I think you're more happy to kind of just keep the ball and make us work for it. Not as eager to just fly up the pitch.
Flatman's got to do better though.
Joel Powell might get here ahead of Butler. It's a 50-50. Butler coming out on top.
Butler's done really well there. He's found Waters. It's Jackson. Walton applying a bit of a press, but they've managed to break through it. It's gone back to Jack Dean. Farnham will reset with Cooksley. Cooksley to Tanner. Canane looks up. Plays it in a channel for Dean. Dean can't quite hang in the air long enough. Waters plays a lovely ball to Cooksley. Farnham have got a few men forward here.
Yeah, I think you need to look to get it in as well. Flatman's in there. Sanders on the edge.
Dean to Cooksley. Jack Dean's in space.
Nice position. Tobin.
That's fallen back out to him.
Sanders.
I'm not sure why Jack Dean didn't shoot himself.
Crowhurst hacking that one clear. Rogowski picking it up. Completely
Smart
isolated
movement
on halfway. Anisner with it. Rogowski making a run down the left-hand side, but nothing on there for the Swans. And that's really sloppy, but Josh Tobin picking that one up. Someone said in the comments, is this the club the sidemen were at?
It is. It is.
Any side sponsorship this year still, or is that to be announced?
Not this year. We've stayed in the sort of influencer game with No Two Ways as our shirt sponsor, the brand of Calyx. But the sidemen, those pink shirts it might not be announced, but maybe this is an exclusive. But I believe the women will be wearing the pink shirt as their either away or third kit.
Nice.
So that shirt will still be worn around here, but we wore it in the Cups last year. We were hoping to wear it at Wembley in the FA Vars, but it wasn't to be.
Crowhurst to Anisner. There's been a sub for the Swans. Joey Jones has come off for another trialist in the number 20 shirt at right centre-back. Sent forward by Proctor. Rogowski can potentially pick that one up, but it's dealt with. So 337 people tuning in on TikTok.
So over 500 in total.
Yeah. Sanders, this is where he likes to be, and he goes wide to Dean, who comes inside, and Dean with a tame shot that just rolls wide of the post. I mean, if he got a clean contact on that,
Snatched it a little bit.
that would have been tough for Barker to deal with, because Dean was really in range there.
It's a man who hasn't scored a goal yet in pre-season. Sort of felt like an effort from one. But yeah, it's been a good game. Definitely hasn't. You know, you see pre-season games sometimes really peter out, but it's definitely not had the feel of that.
No.
Sanders,
There's a comment in here, they are right, the first goal doesn't count.
Yeah.
I think we need to change it to 1-0. It's across to Joel Powell, but Butler once again getting a foot in just before. Joel Powell goes back to Jaden Crowhurst.
Crowhurst has been pretty positive for the Swans since he's come on.
Ball straight into the hands of the Farnham keeper there. Just over 20 minutes to go. Farnham leading by 2-0. The Swans still looking to find a route back into this game, but
You get the feeling if they get one, it'll be a very, they'll be pushing.
I think we started the half really brightly. Obviously had two chances, one through Adam Mecki, who flashed it just wide, and one from Dave Rogowski, forced a brilliant save from the keeper, but nothing yet. Josh Tobin coming forward with it now, and he loves to dribble. He's making the run down the middle as well. Adam Mecki finds him. Tobin with a lovely clip ball through to Rogowski, and Rogowski finds the back of the net. That was really, really well worked from the Swans. Josh Tobin with a major hand in that goal, carrying it forward from midfield, clipping the ball through, and Rogowski getting a slice of fortune with that one squeezing under Brzozowski there, but the Swans, good value for that goal, Frankie.
Yeah, definitely. It's Tobin especially has been the guy to drive the Swans forward, and you give him Rogowski a chance, and he scored. I mean, Tobin has sort of been driving it for everything good has come through him, it feels like.
We see it so often, and he's almost I wouldn't say a secret weapon, but in times like this where we've struggled to kind of break down the Farnham back line through conventional means, getting the ball in the box or going over the top, just having someone who can glide through like that and just unlock something is invaluable. And the Swans back into this game, courtesy of Dave Rogalski.
Yeah, look, it's what the game needed. That is for sure. Oh, Flatman's played a poor pass across.
Yeah, and it's the other trialist who's come on for the Swans, and that's a ball that's not met its intended target.
Misplaced pass by Sanders. Now Farnham starting to panic a little bit.
It's sloppy on both sides here. Crowhurst trying to take Butler on, and he's want to throw in. Just feels a bit like frenetic at the moment. There's no real...
I feel like Farnham have just panicked a little bit.
Oh, that's a really late challenge on Crowhurst. That's a nasty challenge.
I think he'd be in trouble if it wasn't a pre-season friendly.
Yeah.
But it actually might be what Farnham need, to be fair, to slow the game down a little bit.
Yeah, the Swans physio isn't here today, so might be needing a bit of help from the Farnham physio.
Nathan goes over.
Bit of an injury break, so we can get your questions in on the YouTube or the TikTok.
Yeah, send them in.
Let us know where you guys are tuning in from. You know, we've got a lot of people watching from all around the world. There's someone on TikTok watching from Bolivia. Wow. Got people watching from Japan, from New Orleans in the US. I think that's where Harry is.
Yes. The A-team commentary team will be back, I'm sure, soon.
Someone watching from Lebanon, Poland. There's two Polish players on the pitch. Dave Rogalski, who got the goal for the Swans, and Marcin Brzozowski in the Farnham net.
Yeah, I think Marcin got a bit unlucky there, but it's...
I mean, in fairness to him, Rogalski was about 10 yards out, and it's hard to get down that quickly.
It's, I think, because you saw that save he did earlier, he'd been sent off.
It was a really late challenge.
Be surprised.
I mean, is it a bit harsh to send someone off in a pre-season friendly?
I mean, it's a bad tackle. There's no getting away from it.
Look, again, it depends on what you agree before the start of the game. I mean, the obvious thing to do is just say, look, make a sub. You got to go off, mate, because you don't want to make a game imbalanced either. In terms of you want it to be 11v11 and get a good feel for.
I'm sure Billy would want
it's going to be
11v11, but
then no, I'm sure from a Walton perspective, we'd take a red card.
From the other perspective, you do need to practice these situations, and
yeah, absolutely,
like 10v11 and.
Absolutely. I'm not sure.
Someone from Switzerland tuned in as well, and Moscow. Poor, yeah. It's oh, red card in a pre-season game.
Interesting. Farnham down to 10. Who was that who got sent off?
It was Butler.
It was. Well, that was an interesting moment, and the Swans have a chance to capitalise here.
Oh yeah, look, it was a bad tackle. I am surprised it's been a red card though.
Look, I think if that's a league game, he was late, and you can't be lunging in studs up late because it is a golden ticket to a red card, really.
I'm just more about the game. Like, it's just, you don't normally see it.
No, you don't. But I guess look, you have to treat it as if you're playing a game. That's the point of pre-season. Adam Meckie over this one for the Swans. So short ball in, doesn't beat the first man, Harry Cooksley. But picked up by Crowhurst again, who's going to head that one back into the mixer, but straight out by Kinane. Canane picking it up again for Farnham and just hoofing that one long. You might see quite a shift in momentum here in the final 16 minutes of the game.
You'd expect there to be a lot of Walton on the ball. And look, Farnham are going to have times this season in the South Central where they have to bank up and they have to get through really tricky periods.
Yeah. Joel Powell goes wide and Crowhurst get to this first here. It's a good ball in. Rogalski with the flick. Blocked by Kinane, and that one dribbles through to Brzozowski. Swans looking dangerous once again. There's a comment saying, will you be showing live midweek games? I can answer that on behalf of you as well. Both Walton and Farnham will be streaming midweek home games this season, potentially even away games contingent on opposition permission.
Yep.
I think Walton will be streaming for our international fans our home games as well, live on YouTube.
That is cool. That is very cool.
There's a comment in the chat from Alex Hutton. He says, friendly or not, those challenges need to be treated correctly.
Yeah, oh look, no problem with that, definitely.
And that is in contrast to AP 76, who says never a red.
I think maybe 10 years ago it wouldn't have been, but it's a different game now.
No, but yeah, in fairness, look, you have to treat this as if it is a league game. And it's a flailing arm from Crowhurst, but hasn't gone penalised. Swans with a few more subs on the pitch again. Number 20, Mason Abeng, has come on. Number 19 is a trialist. Number 16 in the middle of the park, also a trialist. I think there's a good, probably 7 or 8 subs that the Swans have made. I think the only players who still remain on the pitch from the start, Josh Tobin, Josh Barker and Dave Rogalski.
Probably been Walton's 3 best players as well.
Yeah, I think that's probably why they're still on the pitch. Again, as we're seeing with Josh Tobin, he's not a conventional defender.
No,
he really isn't. But
and I know they've moved away from it now, but that 3 at the back, it did sort of suit him because he can step out a lot easier.
Yeah, and he's got that cover as well from the other 2 centre halves.
It's Waters. He's played it back to Brzozowski.
Mason Abeng pressing high.
Someone's got to go with him though. From a Walton perspective, he can't press on his own.
I think Rogalski's obviously wary of running for a whole 90 and like that in pre-season, but he has got some engine.
You got a game on Tuesday or?
No Tuesday game this week. We're at home to Lewis next weekend.
That's a good game.
So an Isthmian Prem side, they've obviously had a huge amount of changes in the summer across the entire club. First team management's changed, almost the entire team has changed, and at boardroom level they've had big changes as well. Chairman Stuart Fuller stepping down as mandated by their constitution, being a fan-owned club. No director can stay on for more than 12 years, so there's been huge changes at boardroom level as well. So it'd be interesting to see how Lewis sets up next week. 3 days later, we're at home to AFC Croydon in midweek.
Be a good game.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Stormzy makes a trip down.
We did see him at the playoff final actually.
Yes, with Maya Jama.
Yeah, although they are no longer together. I think she got bored of the football.
Yeah.
But it is all Walton now.
It's a tough slog, non-league football, isn't it? She wasn't cut out for it. She wasn't cut out for Littlehampton away in step 4.
No, that's a tricky league, that South East.
Yeah,
as well.
it is. It's a ball in that's blocked and cleared only as far as Anis Nur. The Swans really applying the pressure, and Nur goes for goal, and that one not a million miles away.
No, Martin looked like he had it covered, but that was closer than it looked.
There's a few comments saying fix the stream. I think we'll be on that.
Let's see what's up. Just gone a bit blurry. Bear with us. The guys are working on it.
Proctor going wide to a 19 who had his back to goal and was nowhere near that. Dean steaming forward now.
So rare Farnham attack in this last sort of 10 minutes, but it is Cooksley. Jack Dean's come into midfield. Flatman plays it back to Canane. Farnham just looking to get their breather in on the ball. Everything Tobin does is just class.
Unconventional.
It's
isn't
just
it?
class.
He's a very unorthodox footballer, but he is supremely talented. Crowhurst with it now. He's got Meki making a run down the middle. Mason Abeng down the right wing as well.
Kai Tanner's gone into left back. He's a man who played a lot of positions last year. Right back, left back, centre mid, 10.
Bit of a Swiss Army knife for you.
Yeah. No, he's come in with a great attitude. Sutton United, he was very unlucky. Required surgery in his sort of contract year there, so didn't quite work out for him. And
that's a loose ball from Waters out towards halfway.
Yeah, Farnham really have lost control, and that's to be expected with a man down. But it was coming anyway.
Yeah, it's been a bit erratic on the Farnham side the last 15 minutes. It has to be said. Nur goes over the top to Crowhurst, but he's not going to get to that one. That one into the garden.
Yep, that's 60 quid.
What are you after? Sub-ball.
So your balls must have arrived, what, last week?
Yeah, they came in pretty good time.
You get 32, you'll probably be down to about 19 by the start of the season.
You'll
be emailing Kelly by week 3 of the season.
We actually bought 60. We train with them as well, so. Sanders, not quite enough there.
Yeah, we just used the last season's set as the training balls because they always just go missing as well.
Southern League, what is it? Is a mitre ball?
Yeah, they're mitre. They're really nice ones. They're the exact same ball they use in the FA Cup, just obviously
Yeah.
branded differently. But the actual ball itself is very good quality. So out to Crowhurst, has got a bit of room to work with.
Sanders
Trying
with
to
a
take
bit
Sanders on, but
of defensive work there from Sanders.
does it all, doesn't he? Swan's moving it nicely. Tobin back to Nur. Swan's working it nicely here. It's across the trialist on the left-hand side. He's going to clip a ball in. Rogowski, the flag goes up.
It's just always making the right move, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this has been really positive from the Swans. I think, obviously, for the lack of perhaps intensity in the final third or in the midfield in the first half and kind of opening stages of the second half, the Swans have really kind of grown into it as we've gone along, which has been...
Looks like Crowhurst has got a knock here.
Yeah, I think it might be that challenge he took earlier. Hasn't managed to quite shake it off still.
He's been bright today. No point risking it.
I'm not sure the Swans have...
Looks like is it Mason's going to play in that sort of role?
You have no more subs on.
Just can you bring someone on? So it looks like we're going to have 10v10. I assumed we were doing roll on, roll off as per pre-season, but maybe no one's dressed and ready.
Well, I think they all are, but I think, again, if we're kind of playing by season rules, I guess, it'd be similar if we've used all our subs and someone gets injured. That's part of the game, I guess. There's only so much you can bend the rules for pre-season. Looks like Mason Abeng
Yeah.
is dropping into right back, wing back.
I'll tell you what, like the red card and now Walton going down to 10. It's been a pre-season game that has felt like a league.
Yeah.
Tobin again involved in everything.
Tobin goes wide. Trialist can put a ball in here and it's towards the back stick. It's a skewed one.
Tanner's done well. Sanders. Oh, it's beautiful.
Lovely roulette from Sanders.
He's played in Owen Dean.
is in a-
Flatman's in the bot. Flatman's. What will Owen Dean do? He's sized up his man, one-on-one. He's driven down the side. Paid it back stick for Flatman.
Get a shot away here. Flatman, side netting.
Brilliant from Owen Dean there, really.
And the Swans, in fairness, recovered really quickly there. You can see the number 20 trialist centre-back was herring back. Josh Tobin trying to cover Flatman as well. They did drop back quickly there.
Oh, he's done really well there.
Ben keeping that one on.
Tanner has really done well at left back here so far. Applied himself, got his body there.
Yeah, Mason Obeng signed off the books of Aldershot.
Was it at Hartley Whitney last year?
He was on loan there. Another young player.
Seems to be a theme. There's a lot of sort of young,
Have we got 2 number 20s on the pitch? I think we have.
Yeah, the right centre back's number 20 as well.
I don't know how that's happened. I don't know also why we have 2 number 20 shirts, but things you see in pre-season.
Yeah.
I think they're different sizes. One might be a medium, one might be a large. But the Southern League has stupid rules. You can't use any numbers over 20. They don't let you.
They've just changed that in the Isthmian League. I think it was
They don't let you. If a player has 21 on their shirt, they will not let you name them in the squad. I mean, it's that stupid.
Walton looking for that equaliser.
Meckie driving right into the corner flag. He's managed to get a ball in, but Waters cuts that one out straight away.
Oh, he had to release Sanders there.
Waters has thumped that one long.
Yeah.
More out of hope than anything. And Snur's going to carry it forward now for Walton.
A few comments. My goal is to travel to the Midwest, from the Midwest US, to see a game in person. Well, look.
See, trialist 16 for the Swans going right to Obeng. And Obeng winning a corner.
Wishing Farnham Town the best of luck for the new season from a Godalming Town supporter. All the best to Godalming. I believe we have Godalming Town in the FA Youth Cup first round, so that'll be a fun game. And then we'd love to see Farnham Town in the Football League. I mean, I think we all would.
Yeah.
Temper your expectations a little bit.
This comment saying, why are we not allowed to know the trialist names? Well, they haven't officially signed with us yet, so it doesn't make sense to name someone before you've signed them. It's a deep ball from Meckie. Rogowski gets ahead on that. Tobin with the second bite. A good save low down to his right.
It was always going to fall to him, wasn't it?
It's going to be a goal kick.
I thought it was a corner.
It looked like a corner.
He's going to book him. Oh, he's thrown it away as well.
You know, it's funny because Josh Tobin's actually suspended for the opening 2 games of the season, yeah.
But he has definitely been the best player on the pitch in the second half. It's interesting, we talk about trialist names. We had Kaitana was a trialist, listed as a trialist. Everyone knew he was obviously Kaitana.
Yeah.
Everyone knows who Kaitana is.
Again, it's not so much for the purposes of our fans know who they are. It's for everyone outside looking in. Again, if you haven't signed someone, why name them? Why give anyone else a chance to sign them before you have? So.
Managers know where these players are, though. You know.
Yeah, 3 minutes plus added time to go. I imagine there'll be about 3 or 4 minutes of added time as well, given the injuries and sendings off. Both sides down to 10 men. Obeng goes in search of the 16, the trialist for Walton. Obeng's back with the ball now. He's got Anis Nur across. Goes to the left. Ball in. Rogowski's there. He's onside, but that's snuffed out by
Tanner, I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
Snatched at that, Tobin.
Just a few minutes to go, but if you have stayed with us for the whole duration, hope you've enjoyed it, and you'll come back, whether that's a Farnham Town live stream or a Farnham Town set of highlights or a Walton Hersham game. I know I'll be down the hub a few times this season when we've not got a game.
Well, you live closer to us than you do to here, so.
Yeah, it's a good ground.
You've got Walton and Hersham flags flying on your street. In fact, is it that one there?
Yeah. That flag was very close to my house. Oh. This game's just sort of becoming a bit stretched.
Meckie winning a foul there off Cooksley. And Cooksley probably get a card for that.
Definitely get a card for that in a game. Just a few minutes to go here. Sun is trying to come out. Walton looking for that equaliser. And they'll come forward as Tobin.
Tobin with the ball over the top to the trialist who can get a shot away. And that is just wide, but he's won a corner.
He's done well there, nice run. So of these trialists, how, I know it's tough to say, what percentage of them do you think you'll be seeing at the club?
I mean, I imagine next week we're going to start to slim the squad down a bit.
When does that process happen?
I think it's going to start kind of taking shape over the next week or so. I think the squad is currently ball in by Mecki, headed out by Dean. Strong header, but only as far as Anis Nurse. Swans are going to have a chance to throw this back in. It's Mecki again with it. It's back to Anis Nur. In answer to the question, Frankie, I think the squad's about 22, 23 at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's 21 here today, I think it was.
Proctor with it, across to Nur. Farnham just defending well here. Tobin goes wide to Mason. A bang, the Swans with a lot of room here. A bang towards the back stick, bouncing around, and Farnham just about scrambled that clear. There was a late challenge as well, I think, from, was it Rogalski on
Jack Dean,
Jack Dean, yeah.
Farnham defended well there, and there's going to be periods in the season they've got to do that.
We have hit the 90. I'm not sure if there's a...
There won't be a board, I don't think.
Subs board or any indication of added time. I'd imagine it would be around 4 minutes, but we'll...
Pre-season, you just never know.
Yeah.
We played 50 minutes halves last week. So, God knows.
Yeah, as I said, I think that process will kind of start taking place over the next week or so.
You'll see that across the whole of the
yeah.
the
We'll
circle.
start kind of slimming down the
and then you'll see people
that
will sort of drop down those levels. The unfortunate players at Walton that don't get in will sort of start to sign for maybe step 4, step 5 teams.
Yeah, I think the thing as well about starting the season with basically a fresh squad and carrying over 4 players from last season. It means you're going to have a lot of players in that are, going to have 3 or 4 games before you actually decide whether you want them in the team or not. And that's natural. We've obviously had more trialists than I think the vast majority of other teams in non-league this season, but I think there's still a very decent idea at this stage of who is going to make up that final squad. It's perhaps just about giving 1 or 2 more games to those who were still undecided.
Those people on the edge.
Yeah,
sort of.
Exactly that.
But the game does look to be coming to a close, but it's been a fantastic game. We've loved having Walton and Hersham over.
It has, and it might sound weird, but I think we in pre-season get more out of these games when you're playing from 2-0 down and you're not necessarily in the position you want to be than just pure dominating games. I think Billy and Darren are going to take a lot away from today's game in terms of learnings, in terms of setting up, in terms of personnel playing in certain positions.
Well, you've had little instances where, like Mason over here, probably not a right wing back, but he's had to play here for the last 10 minutes.
A lot of our play, certainly in the second half, has come down the right-hand side, and we've looked really positive there. We saw, obviously, at the start of the second half, those 2 chances that came into the box. We're seeing just now Mason and Ben looking good down here as well. So there's, I think, a lot of positives to take from today as well. I think the result, as you know, it's nice to win. It sends a good message out, but
doesn't matter.
It really doesn't mean anything, does it?
No.
Again, I'm sure you weren't thinking on Tuesday night, bloody hell, couldn't beat Red here. Let's,
Yeah.
Mason a bang.
It's a brilliant ball.
Finds a trialist, it goes across and rolls that one across the face of goal. Probably had the time to take a touch or 2 and actually bring that towards goal.
It was a brilliant
or
run, to be fair.
Find an option.
And I'm sure on Saturday next week, which we will be live streaming, we've just had that confirmed, but Dorking will humble us.
You reckon?
They'll be.
You reckon?
I think they're going to be bang up for step 2 this year.
Yeah, I mean they're going for another title-winning campaign, aren't they? They've been there and done it in step 2 in terms of getting out of that league. So it's really just about replicating what they've done before. With that said, I think that league is about 3 times as hard as it was
when the
3
last
years
time
ago.
There's a seagull on the pitch.
I think the amount of teams in that National South. I mean.
And that sees the game come to a close.
Yeah.
Farnham run out 2-1 winners, but it was a very competitive pre-season game, and very good one.
A good run out, I think. A lot of learnings to take from both sides. I don't think Jono would be too happy about how Farnham dropped off in that last 20-25 minutes, and at the same time, I don't think Billy would be too happy about some of the passages of that game for the Swans. So a lot of learnings to take from both sides. Pre-season friendly, contested in good spirit, and.
We appreciate everyone for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
Yep, thank you everyone for tuning in. And both Walton and Farnham will be streaming at Saturday 3 p.m. next week.
Good.